Hey, it's Melissa. Welcome back to Twin Oaks Farm Poultry. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. Today, we're actually going to talk about raising Cornish rock cross meat chickens and just some of the quick basics, some of the questions that we had when we started raising these about 4 years ago. We initially raised them for household eating, and we've expanded since then to raising bigger flocks more frequently and direct marketing that poultry to people in our area and selling it. But we had a lot of questions when we got started, and just some of the basic things like how long does it take to grow a Cornish rock cross meat chicken? How much do they eat? What weight will they get to? What can I expect to get from raising it? And how much room do they need? Basic management and keeping practices like that. So in today's video, we're going to answer some of those basic questions and invite you to share any questions you have and challenges you have experienced or challenges you're concerned about if you're going to raise those kinds of birds. So stay tuned because we're going to get to that. I want to show you something that we've noticed here at our little farm. This is our home place, actual working operation, and where we raise our family. And going to show you something that we've noticed in the last week that unfortunately we're going to have to do something about pretty soon. It's kind of developing into a hazard. I think it's already at that point. So this is actually coming right down our driveway, and I'm going to try to get to a place where I'm safe, but where I can also zoom in. So I'm zooming in on a low branch of this maple tree, and I think y'all can see that there. We've got a hornet nest there that, I mean, it's large. So that's the side of it. I'll try to, I'm not super steady here because I'm really trying to watch myself. And here's more like where the hole is at the front of it toward the bottom. We'll zoom in again. So we've just noticed this like in the last week, and it's right beside our driveway, and it's not too far off the ground. You can see like when we'd ride a riding lawnmower there, kind of in a bad spot. So I think that overnight tonight there's going to have to be a removal of this situation. So I'm gonna back off from that. We're gonna take a walk down to our meat bird production barn, and we'll follow up on what happens with that later in the week. But this is actually where we raise Cornish rock cross meat chickens now. And so some of the earliest questions that we had about Cornish rock cross meat chickens were, you know, what's really the big deal about them? What makes them special? Well, they are specialized for meat production for poultry that we can eat, and Cornish rock cross meat chickens are the white birds that grow rapidly, and they actually can be ready from hatch to harvest in about 6 weeks. So 42 days is a great standard for really being able to finish Cornish rock cross meat chickens. So, you know, when we're talking 42 days, we're talking 6 weeks. And actually, we've had flocks that we felt were really ready in 5 weeks. And then on the other hand, it's nice that if you prefer to grow those birds out to like 8, 9, 10, even up to 12 weeks, probably 12 weeks at the most, like as a maximum. But you can do that if you prefer to grow them out longer and get a bigger bird. But the reason that can be accomplished in even 5 weeks, we grow them out to 6, is because Cornish rock cross meat chickens actually convert feed to meat very, very quickly. So this is not the barn that we originally started raising Cornish rock cross meat chickens in, but we initially raised flocks of like 25 and 50, and wanted just maybe like enough for 60 to 75 birds a year for us to have for household eating for a family of 5. So then we decided that we liked the end product, we liked the process, and we wanted to try to share the experience of great homegrown chicken with other people. So we decided we would expand that operation, and this was the building that we planned in order to expand to flocks that are more along the lines of 300 and 400 birds, and to have them more frequently. And as a side note, I want to show you something I'm real excited about. We've been waiting for the availability of gutter for our building. We only need gutter on the north side and the south side, and it's just a 30-foot span that we need gutter on each end. But availability, we've been waiting for it to be available, and I'm so excited that the gutter was available as of last week, and a local business here, shout out to Nybert's Insulation. We purchased our gutter from them, and that included the service of bringing it out here and getting it here for us, ready for us to install. We prefer to install it ourselves. So shout out to Nybert's. They're great people, great folks, local here. We love the family, and just really glad that we could work with them. We didn't get any remuneration for that. We promote people and businesses that are positive for us to work with. So shout out to them. And here's Mama Hen and Oakley Chick. So we getting a little look at them before we go in the building. You know, Oakley Chick was hatched here on June 30th of this year. And so Oakley's about a month old, and Mama Hen was a broody hen that was in our egg production building. And when she turned broody, we got her some fertilized hatching eggs, and she hatched that one out. So it's real exciting. But we're inside the meat bird production barn now here at Twin Oaks Farm, and gonna try to answer those other questions and wrap up. So we built this barn because, like I told you, we wanted more room. We wanted to be able to expand to 300 to 400 birds at a time and raise them more frequently. So that puts us along the lines of the question, how much room do these birds need? They grow quickly. They get to a size where we can finish them for a whole bird for eating. And so we know that they're going to need some room to accomplish that. Basically, if you're going to raise Cornish rock cross meat chickens, we recommend that you plan on at least 2 square foot per bird as a minimum. And if you can get them more room, like to be able to go out of doors safely during the growing time, that's even better. But if you've got to keep them inside or confined, make sure that you give them at a minimum at least 2 square feet per bird that you want to raise. So like I said, we've got a 30 by 30 foot building, and ideally I think that would put us at about 450 birds would be a really good fit in here if we had nothing else on the floor. Like sometimes we have a pallet of feed stacked in here, so that would cut into that room, and we would need to reduce the flock size or the stocking density inside our building. So that's a good rule of thumb though, 2 square foot per bird. So how much are these birds gonna eat? You know, if they're gonna start the size of an egg and finish up maybe 6 pounds, 7 pounds within about 6 weeks, you know, how much are they gonna eat? How much food is it gonna take to do that? Well, actually, considering how efficiently they grow and how quickly they grow, really, I guess I should say, considering how quickly they grow, they do that very efficiently. You can plan on 10 pounds of feed per bird, just as a general rule of thumb. If you decide to feed them more and they'll eat it, you can do that. I don't think you can finish them on much less quantity than that. We have kept track of feeding quantity throughout growing them over 4 years, and very consistently about 10 pounds a bird is what they eat. Even if we vary the protein load or the we have kind of a feeding schedule, even if we vary that, it seems like no matter what, it comes out to about 10 pounds of feed stuff per bird over 6 weeks for us. So we plan on, like, if a rule of thumb we go by here is for every 100 birds, we plan on 20 bags of feed. So, or 1,000 pounds of feed. So that's something you could use as a rule of thumb if you wanted to. And then I also said, you know, another question is, well, how big are these birds going to get? If you're going to grow out to 6 weeks with them, probably 6 or 7 pounds. If you take them out to 12 weeks, you're going to get a bigger bird. I wouldn't be surprised if you'd get 8 to 10 pound live birds at that point. And then you can figure on a Cornish rock cross meat chicken dressing out or finishing, as far as the product that you have for like a whole bird to serve in your household, finishing at 75% of their live weight, which is also more efficient than even dual purpose breeds that could be used for egg production or meat production, or the heritage chicken breeds. Those breeds tend to finish out at 65% of their live weight. So those are some basics on Cornish rock cross meat chickens. If you have some other questions on that, put them in the comments. We'll research if we need to, and we'll answer what we can. Want to tell you a few things coming up in August. We do have Cornish rock cross meat birds coming back in August to Twin Oaks Farm, about 300 the end of August. So tomorrow is August 1st. We're going to start a countdown to chicks. And so each day, in addition to our regular YouTube schedule from Twin Oaks Farm Poultry, each day we're going to do a short video aiming for 2 or 3 minutes at the most of just one specific thing each of those days that we're doing to prepare for chicks coming later in August. So that'll include things like getting this whole building ready. The way it looks now is no bedding on the floor and some extra things in here, and we're going to have to change all that and get it ready to go for chicks to come back in August. So we're going to keep our regular YouTube production schedule, but just add short videos daily of a countdown to the chicks, and then we're going to try to follow that flock daily with the same short video format of just each day in the life of a Cornish Rock Cross meat chicken flock. So thank you so much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it, and please subscribe.